Hello, my friends, and welcome to this very special pick a card reading, which is a set of 2 offerings that I have for you just after the solstice. And I thought it would be interesting to explore what cycles are ending for you right now and what cycles will be beginning for you. Now, these readings can be watched at any time, they're timeless, but I'm doing them because I was called to do them at the end of 2023 in terms of just getting rid of old cycles, of old things, and seeing what is coming to an end right now, and then having a little glimpse at what is going to be starting for you, and then going more in depth into that with the other reading at what new cycles are beginning. And also I'll have a little tinkle, a little look at what is ending for you. So both readings will lead into each other. So almost like a collaboration of readings with myself in a way. So I thought, let me just see how they work, because I'm just guided to do these cycles, and I don't want to just look at both in one reading. I want to dedicate one reading to each, beginning and ending, what cycles are beginning and what cycles are ending. So these are what cycles are ending. Now we've got 3 piles for you to choose from. We've got pile 1 with this stone, which is called Menalite. Pile 2 is this stone here, which is called Agni Manitite. And then we have pile 3, which is a sapphire. So we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. What cycles are ending for you right now? Pause the video if you wish, take your time, and timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this pile 1, or Menalite. Now, Menalite is a really special stone, and this particular one as well, because I remember choosing it in the shop, and I was just like so wowed by it, because there were like stones which had these bumps and lumps off of them, but then this one just looked, it was just so cool, because you had this beautiful kind of like circular thing inside a stone. It was just so cool. So this is a very feminine, nurturing stone. It's all of the stones that I've picked, actually, I didn't realize they're very shamanic. But this was actually a stone that was used quite a lot in shamanic journeying. It was used to travel to different realms, but it was very specific also for women. It's very good for women that are going through either the menopause, that it stops with hot flashes. It's also good for any kind of menstruation. It's just a very mothering stone. So, and I also got this by this sense of like being also encapsulated by this kind of, you know, it's almost like it's trapped inside there, or it's being like encased in that, or it might even be the hood, a face, like, and then it's hooded. So what I'm getting from this is that you've kind of been in incubation for a long time. You've been kind of, you know, gathering up your resources. You've been putting everything together and getting yourself into a space where you feel strong and you feel confident. The only thing I would say here, though, is because it's kind of like top heavy here, compared to this one, which looks a little bit more kind of rounded. Sorry about the noise, that's my heating. The main thing is that I think there's almost like too much going on in the head. Like, it's almost like you're trying to think your way out of a situation where really all you can do is do. So it's almost like you've prepared so much for this situation. It's almost like you're about to have a baby and you've done everything you can to have the baby, and now you've just got to go through the process of having the baby, of carrying the baby. And that's the bit, you know, that's the bit, that's the challenge. All mothers out there, including my own, God, you're all amazing women. I really, really think you're all amazing to take on the role of motherhood. So, you know, there's a phase in your life that you're preparing for, and you may be thinking a little bit too much about it. But this phase is almost the cycle in itself. So the preparation is almost part of the cycle, and now you're moving into this new cycle. But yeah, I think this sense of you being in your head, and you may have been quite insular because this is like inside this stone. It may be being held, being like, it seems almost that you're in the egg, you're inside the egg, and now it's time for you to break out. That's what I'm getting from that stone. So I'll just pop it over here. And let's have a look at what this card is. Wow, the lower world. Love that. And 31, number 4. Okay. So there is a return to a sense of self, a sense of personality where you had no preparation. So as I was saying, that there was this sense of a lot of preparation, like you're getting ready for something. This is about you letting it all go and getting rid of all of that stuff, and allowing yourself to descend into the lower world, and allow yourself to descend into a space where you are forgetting about your ego, forgetting about everything that you know, forgetting about the things that you've done, forgetting about all of the things that you've kind of like put into place, and just going with the flow more so. We've even got this like tree, and then we've also got like, I think it's like water or like roots, and then we've got this, I don't know if you can see that, like this kind of like water flowing down. So there's something about you being able to like allow yourself. And with my, when I facilitate shamanic journeys to the lower world, I tell my clients to go down as deep as they can, so that when they reach the lower world, they know that this place is the lower world. Now the lower world within shamanism is a little bit different. I mean, it's different within all shamanic cultures. I just want to just reiterate that my teaching is from core shamanism, which kind of leads on to neo-shamanism, which is the new kind of Western version of shamanism. It's not, you know, it's connected to ancient practices, but it is an adapted new version of it. And I will fully, you know, disclaim that. It's been done by the foundation of, well, Michael Hana was the kind of core practitioner who brought all of these practices to the West in order for these indigenous practices to be kind of understood by Western audiences. So that, because it doesn't matter if you're with an indigenous tribe or you're in another place here in the West, you know, in a hall in London where you're doing a shamanic journey, you can still go as deep, you know, you can still go. It's all about how deep you're ready to go and how much you're willing to let go. So I think the lower world in this respect is about you connecting to your deep inner self and your soul, the part of you, not even your soul, but the part of you that is the most organic, if that makes sense. And that's really what this stone is about, like truthfully. You know, the divine mother, the divine sense, and that the mother is lower. So, I mean, and as I was saying about like some other lower worlds, maybe akin to like the underworlds, which are like, you know, to do with like maybe death or something like that. This is not it. This is actually more of a benevolent, beautiful world that is only for your highest good, and it's your own it's like it only contains benevolent spirits that would be there, and benevolent animals. This is where you would find your power animal in the lower world to connect with on different realms. But this is one of the first realms that I take my clients on. So, and I'll be doing a video on the realms in shamanism and a little bit more in shamanism on another channel that I'll be launching soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So we've got this first card here, the lower world. So what cycles are ending for you, my beautiful pile ones? Let's have a look. Sorry for the long intro, but let's have a look. Okay, the Mystic. Midnight Breakfast, alternative solution, expect the unexpected, and plan B. Interesting. And we've got Limitless, the Soul Star chakra. Beautiful. And April Moon. Okay, wonderful. So, pile one, I think you are really starting to enter into a space. It's interesting because this is about what you're leaving behind and what cycles are ending for you. I think the idea that you thought that you weren't able to kind of be spiritual or be mystical is ending. I feel like you're starting to come into more of your spirituality. I feel like you're starting to walk into a space where you start to feel power within your spirituality. I might end up changing the name of this reading because like it's going into, I might even not do a I might not even do a another reading, because if we're going to talk about what's beginning for you, it might just bleed into this reading. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If that does happen, I'll just apologise in the beginning. So I'm sorry, pile one, you have been my guinea pigs. But we may end up talking about your new cycle because it's seeming like it wants to come up. It seems to me like you have taken the time to really go down and explore what it is that kind of helps you to connect deeply to your unconscious, and also understand your unconscious and connect deeply to your subconscious self, because I think you're starting to really understand what it is that you have to offer, and I think that something very special is going to happen around April for you at that time, because I don't think that you expected that you were going to have this sense of power within yourself. I think you thought that you were going, I don't know, but I think you may have, because of this crystal or the stone, the Menalite, I think that you thought that it was going to be a particular way that you were going to access this knowledge, and actually it's been a different way. And when you connect with your intuition more, you find that you go forward. And I think that's what this midnight breakfast means. So let's have a look at what the tarot wants to say. Because you are really connecting with something quite amazing with this Soul Star Chakra card. Okay, we've got the High Priestess reversed. We've got the Lovers reversed. We've got the Knight of Cups reversed. And then we've got the Page of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. Everything is reversed. And the Three of Swords. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so I think you've been hurt deeply by something. It may have been a relationship where you had been hurt. It could also be just generally in love. Like there could have been a sense of you connecting with people that really just didn't bring out the best in you. You may have been connecting with people that just pretended to kind of have some idea. It's really some idea of spirituality. Here we've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got the Brother of the Wild. Beautiful card with all of those gorgeous, like, you can see in the sky, he's like this wolf is calling out to its brothers. What I get from that is somebody who was probably feigning some kind of spirituality or feigning something towards you. Like it wasn't a real thing. It was, in fact, it was quite player-esque. Like this person really kind of put on the bells and whistles to you in a way. This is the Butterfly Snow Vixen, Page of Pentacles. So and I don't know, they may have wooed you in some way. Now, this isn't necessarily romantic. This could have been a situation where maybe you were going to go into business with someone and you were going to do something with someone, and they connected with you on some kind of level, but actually then they just kind of went away. And I feel like you ignored the warning signs about this person, because we've got 2 reversed major arcanas here. So it seems to me like there was a lesson here for you to learn. But if there has been a continual cycle, because this is talking about cycles, if this has been a cycle of you meeting these kind of people and getting your heart broken from it because you keep on thinking, shit, man, like I keep on meeting these kind of people. Am I ever going to meet people that are really on my track? That I can actually trust? This is a sign that that's going to all change completely. It's going to change. Because you're going to end up having some, I don't know, I feel like, you know, what's really interesting here is we've got this heart upside down with these flamingos, but that's also spades. The Ace of Spades is almost like, you know, Ace of Spades is quite a dark card. You know, you've got the song, and it is true, like that is quite a dark card, but it also means that it's almost like that saying, like that you know, you're rock bottom, and that's the most solid foundation that you've got to kind of build yourself up on, and you kind of know what the truth is of a situation. What I also get here, because I'm quite superstitious of magpies, is that there's 1 magpie here and 1 is usually for sorrow. So there's some kind of thing that says to me that you're going to really elevate yourself from this sense of sorrow that you've been experiencing in terms of connection with certain people. Because to me, it seems like there's just these idiots that you've been connecting with, and they really do not have your best interest at heart. And I don't know, you may have been like thinking, you may have been giving them a chance and been thinking, oh no, they've got like, you know, there's this, or you may have been ignoring warning signs, but actually they've caused you to be kind of disassociated with yourself. So now you're thinking, right, okay, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to do it because I know that I am filled with potential. I know that I'm filled with something that's a lot more worthy of me being associated with these waste men. Or waste people, as we say in the UK. Well, in London, it's a saying. Wasteman means that these people are they're just rubbish people to be around. So, yeah. And they're hurting you. Like, it hurts you. It hurts you to be around these people. So I'm glad you're getting rid of those, because, yeah, you are just fantastic. So you do not need to be around these. I think that's what you're understanding. You're understanding that being associated with these people cause you to disconnect from what you truly are. And you're like, no more. I've had enough. And you're aware of it. You know, you're super aware of it. Because otherwise, you know, this is what this reading is about. Okay, we've got the 2. What is that? I don't know what that is. 2 of Pentacles. Okay, 2 of Pentacles. No. They wanted to fall out, but they were sideways, and I don't want any maybes. I want some yeses or nos. 9 of Pentacles. Brilliant. Goddess of Water. Yeah, they really destabilize you, these people. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. I mean, if this isn't a relationship, if this isn't, and the sun is on the bottom, and this is Osiris as a child, so it's just really beautiful. So, and that means that kind of like the godlike power is so innocent and divine, but it's almost like it's being reborn. So this has caused you to change your perspective. What you've been doing is you've been amassing stuff on your own, and you've been kind of keeping a balance about things, because I think some of you, this won't apply to all of you, but some of you have realized that the relationships that you've been in have caused you to destabilize. I'm not talking about romantic, just romantic. This could be platonic, other types of relationships. And here we've got Knight of Cups again, reversed. I think you think you were really led up the garden path with some of these people. You really didn't feel that, you know, you feel that you were duped totally. Yeah, I think that. But this is ending. This is ending for you. I want to do some more cards. Yeah, it's ending. Because your relationship with yourself has changed. So, and also your perspective. Okay, I want to just have a look at like some next steps for you. Okay, so we've got the God of Water. Interesting. So we have the Knight of Water, the Goddess of Water, but then, and they're reversed. But then when it comes to the God of Water, you're upright. And that's the one sign, or the one court card that is male, and it's in the water element, and it's upright. So that's meaning that you're actually finding a completely new way of being able to stabilize yourself in situations where it may not have been stable. Eight of Pentacles reversed. The Apprentice of Air, which is the Page of Swords reversed, and then we've got the Hermit reversed. Okay, so, you know, there's some things that kind of need to come out, and I had this feeling anyway, but the cards are confirming it for me. So you've been hurt, you've been in a situation where you felt hurt and you felt upset about something, so you've actually reacted accordingly by keeping yourself stable, by working on yourself and doing your own thing, by making sure that you're able to utilize all of your perspectives to make sure that you weren't being judgmental in that respect, and you were understanding that it wasn't just, you know, you being hurt that was coloring your judgment, but you also understood that, you know, that dealing with immature people, it just doesn't work. You know, there's that saying, sleep in the same bed as children and you'll wake up in a wet bed, you know, that kind of thing. It's I mean, I know that sounds a bit weird, but like, it's the respect, it's in the meaning of like, you know, dealing with people that really are not mature enough to take on like the right things. They'll kind of like, that sounds really weird. Let me use a different analogy actually. I think it's like monkeys and peanuts. That might be a different one. But for those, I didn't mean to cause any offense to anybody who might have thought that. Please don't come for me. It's just, you know, it's a weird saying, but it's like, you know, people will mess you around if then, you know, immaturity will mess you around, basically. It's people who are immature, people who cannot really understand what you're about, and because of that it destabilizes you. And that's why the High Priestess is reversed, as well as the God of Water, which is the most intuitive of the kind of the court cards. But what's happening is that you've stabilized yourself, and now you've done quite a lot of work, and now you're like, right, okay, now I have to change tack, because I can't be so selective. Like, there's something I need to change about this. There's something that I need to do differently. Apprentice of Air reversed. I think you just may have limited your contact, like with people. And particularly with the Hermit reversed, I think you're starting to understand that you need to get out there and be out there. Apprentice of Earth reversed. So that's the same as that reversed. Four of Pentacles reversed. An adjustment. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's important to remember that, you know, you're at a level where people need to meet you. And be confident that putting yourself out there and being able to, for example, putting yourself out in a business in terms of like, you know, your UPS, your unique selling point, or like your own personal brand is going to be accepted out there. And if it's for a relationship, it's the same for a relationship. So if you're going to be putting yourself out there, think carefully. Like, it's not saying for you, like, I think here is really important, particularly with this Apprentice of Earth turning up twice. And also with the two Knights coming up reversed. Like, I think it's important, or here, I think it's important for you to make sure that you don't go the same route in terms of finding these people that you're supposed to be around. Because if you do, then I think that you'll just come up with the same things over and over again. And then you'll be like, why am I coming up with the same things? And it's that whole thing. If you do the same thing, expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. So, yeah, I think it's important for you. Because something's kind of really changed in you, pile one. Like, but I think you're still finding your feet in how to do that. And I don't know if it's something to do with confidence. So I think you've really got to like make a plan about how you want to be confident in that respect. Because you've got it all there, you know, and you really want it for yourself. So I'm going to roll the dice because I haven't got any astrological cards. And I thought, oh God, it's going to be like loads. So let me just see what sign comes out. Okay, so we've got Capricorn. And this is the house. Second house, which is the house of Taurus. And the sun. Wow. So you know what you want, right? You know exactly what you want. And you want stability. You want stability in a space where it's actually quite esoteric, which is really interesting. So what I would suggest is that, you know, you've really got to be confident in what you're doing, confident in who you are, confident in what you're presenting. Because once you do that, then the right people can come to you. And be balanced, you know. I think it's fair to say to be balanced. And that's how you open yourself up and not be so limited. I know that sounds really weird, but it's true. You know, there was a psychological study that was done on, I think they were selling like flavors of jam in a shop. And basically there was a shop that sold like loads of different flavors of jam. And then there was a shop that sold just two flavors of jam. And guess which one sold more jam? Obviously the one that had only two, because everybody knew that they could come to that place and they could go and get those two, you know, those two jars of jam, or those particular two flavors of jam. So I think it's important for you to remember that. It's definitely important for you to remember that. In the next reading, we'll think about like how, well, I don't know if that comes up, about how that comes up, but maybe it might be useful to look at the next reading to see how you proceed on that. But that's what's ending right now, because yeah, it seems like you know, you're starting to come into your power a lot more, pile one. Look at that. I am reborn, recovery, rejuvenation, return from the past, and resurrection. You were damaged. You were damaged and hurt. So you are really kind of coming into your power. And then we have this card, and I'm not sure what that is, so let me just have a look. So Ansuz is about the idea of taking creation and chaos. Well, actually taking chaos and creating something with it and being able to voice something out into the world. So whatever you had, like, kind of brewing, you're ready to put it out there very clearly. And I'll read you a poem that comes with this card. I'll hold it up for you so that you can see it. In the oneness, a stirring was felt. A message was gifted. A small voice spoke out. A wish to be, to live, to see, to breathe. It's time. It's time for you to, like, step out right now, pile 1. Absolutely. This is your time. It's also, this rune is also, this rune here is from the first Atir, which is Freya's Atir. And it's associated with your personal matters, your wealth, your emotions. So I think specifically in the context of this reading, it's about your emotions and about how you're able to make sure that they don't get damaged in the process of you being able to find your own personal happiness. Okay, let's have a look at this card. Inspiration 55. Look at that, and you've got more. It looks like an eagle. Well, it's birds, isn't it? So here we go, right? So we've got tune into your inner child and remember that not all that who wander are lost. Give yourself permission to love, play, and relax. Nature's wisdom will surprise you with spontaneous inspiration as you adventure through your path. So I think this is like faith. You know, you've got to give yourself faith. So we've got 21, so that's 3, 31, 4, 31, 11, 55, kind of goes to 10. So you definitely are at the end of this cycle where you are supposed to put yourself, you know, you're destined to soar. You're destined to fly and enjoy things now. You know, you've got these, you know, you've got these birds that are flying, and you've also got, you know, you've got a lot of birds here, and you've also got this. You've got flying elements as well. So I think it's important that you really kind of take time to spread your wings properly, par 1, and give yourself the time to get ready, get established, and then you go fly. So yeah. Oh my God. Wow, look at that. Void. Okay, this is your last card, pile 1. So let's have a look what it says. There's a beautiful poem with this deck. So I will read it to you. Wow. Oh, well, the first, right, okay, it's got like loads in the book for this, but the first thing that my eyes get drawn to, because I only scan it for the best information for you, my loves, is when this card finds you, it's a reminder that while it's certainly a dark passage, it's one you don't want to attach yourself to. Observe your thoughts and your feelings, but do not fear or fix them. You will grow from the wreckage of this perceived destruction. So let things fall apart. Let the pieces help you build a new reality that feels more like home. So, I mean, I think personally, I think you've already done it. I think you've been through this cycle. And I don't know if there's things that are reminding you of where you were and you're thinking, oh no, I'm still in the same place. And you're not. You're absolutely not. You are like, you're this beautiful butterfly that is just literally popped out the chrysalis, and now it's just like dusting off its wings and making it all like nice and big and lovely. And all of these eyes, what is interesting, all of these eyes are just like making me think that they're like guiding you, that they're protecting you, really, in a way. It's interesting because this card says about the things that are like distracting you. It says there are many things that distract you on the path. And it's up to you whether or not to like go through the center and rise. And that's where you need to go. Because it's an illusion. You just need to go forward, but these things may be stopping you. I'll read you the poem though. Wow, and we go tumbling down Through these dark stretches in our mind where we dig and dig, we find only more questions. Our old rules don't fit with our new awareness. There you go. And this void feels like betrayal. Like every belief we've ever had has lied to us. Has turned sharp and vicious when we dared to question it. How easily the world we've built, the bricks they handed to us and told us were strong and sturdy, turned to dust. Don't try to hold on. Wow, pile 1. Well, there you go. Into the void you go. Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed this reading. It was really good. I liked it. I definitely got a lot from it. As I said, for most of you who like my readings or watch my readings, I resonate most of the time with pile 1. And believe me, I was on this journey with you just as much as you were. But otherwise, my darlings, please do thank you. Well, thank you so much for being here and letting me read your energy. Please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Share, like, comment, all of that good stuff. Really love to hear what you're thinking about this in terms of like what cycles are ending for you. Do let me know in the comments below. And then do check out the other reading, what cycles are beginning for you and starting for you. Because I think it's perfect that we've like literally, in a way, said goodnight to this cycle and goodbye to this cycle. So, yeah, my loves, thank you. Check out the other video and have a beautiful holiday if I don't release another video before this, but happy holidays. And yeah, take care and remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So, what cycles are coming to an end? What cycle is coming to an end? You chose the Agni Manitite, which is a stone that is known as the Pearl of Divine Fire. It's found in Indonesia, where basically the molten lava rains down to the floor after there's been an explosion or some kind of like volcanic eruption, and it falls down to the floor, and then it forms these beautiful like kind of like this amazing stone which almost looks like a tektite. They call it a pseudo tektite. So tektites are actually pieces of meteorite or pieces of meteorites that have come down to earth, like pieces like Moldavite or Libyan tektite, which funnily enough I don't have my Libyan tektite here. Usually I'd have it here on my table, but I don't have it here now. It's interesting. But yes, basically this is actually obsidian, and then it falls down and then it forms this kind of like structure that looks like part of a meteorite. So with that being said, you've got the power of, you know, the kundalini that rises within this stone, and then you've also got obsidian, which is exceptionally protective. So you may have been working on something that has, you know, caused you to kind of change the way that you have been doing things before. You have been like, right, okay, I'm going to do things differently because I really think that something needs to change. And I'm taking action on it. And I don't know if that's been the whole process of you like moving into that space and being able to take control of what it is that you really want. And you've been like, right, okay, I'm going to really kind of harness my power and go into this space where I can really take decisions from a balanced perspective, but also knowing and understanding my full power. That's what I get from this. It's a very creative stone. So the idea of the rising of power, the kundalini going through from the base chakra up into the higher chakras. And this one is, this stone is connected with the solar plexus chakra. So there's something about bringing things into action. I was going to say it, but what is it? Bringing things into action. And there's also a sense of, because of the stone falling down from the sky and forming these kind of little nuggets, these pearls of fire, it's almost like, you know, you're at the point where you're bringing it into manifestation, and that can be a little bit hard. Sometimes when you're at the point where you've been through a process of doing things and then now you're in the process of creation, you know, it gets messy, isn't it? Like you're making the cakes and you're baking them, you are doing it, but like actually, you know, you're not very glamorous while you're doing it. It's only like when you're presenting the cakes or whatnot. But I feel like you're in the process of creation right now. I feel like that's what's happening right now. So I'm going to pop that there. I hope you can see that. Yeah, just about. And let's have a look at what your card is. Wow, so you've got lightning, and you've got 30, which is interesting because pile 1 got 31. It's reversed. So I've got a feeling that the sense of doing all of this action, you may be feeling, what is it worth? Like, what am I doing it for? What's happening? Why am I doing this? I feel like I'm doing this stuff and things are not happening. They're not kind of coming to fruition. So let's see what the other cards have to say. So what cycles are now coming to an end? We've got the desert. We've got final point. And that says game over, need to close, conclusion, transmutation after the end. It was reversed. I'm going to take it reversed because something's telling me to take it reversed. And Jupiter. Wow, okay, right. I see what's going on here. This was also reversed as well, so let's put that reversed as well. I think that these are going to be reversed. So, I mean, and also Jupiter. And look at that. That's pretty, it's pretty nuts, really, that image. Now, yeah, I feel like you've been in a space where you've been hard at work doing some things. You've been busy doing some stuff. And it is a bit like a desert. It's almost like you've stopped yourself from really connecting with anything in order to kind of recalibrate yourself. And if you don't feel that way, that might be what's happened in the time where nothing has been happening. Does that make sense? So, you know, you may be thinking, you know, I haven't really had any action or things happening to me in any kind of way. I haven't been doing anything major. I haven't been doing anything in the public eye. I haven't been moving forward actively in anything that might be seen as productive. I feel like I haven't really done a lot. But actually you have. Now there's two ways that you can think about that. You can either think, okay, this is it, and then I'm gone, you know. But what I'm kind of getting, and not I'm really going to do anything with it anymore, but what I'm getting from this Jupiter card, and then again, because we've got the Agni Manitite and also this snake here, which looks like the Kundalini as well, I just get the sense that you're in a process of rising. And then we've also got this hand reaching up through the desert. So it's almost like, you know, you've got this barren wasteland and it's reaching up. But I feel like it's almost like a bit the Wheel of Fortune reversed, where you may have felt that you missed out on your chance. Now, the two meanings that I'm getting from here is that you may feel like, okay, I'll just cut my losses and I'll stop doing this, but I really don't think you should. I think that this is something where it's just, I think this time is coming to an end. That's why it's coming up. Let's have a look at your tarot, but I think that this is all happening for a reason. This sense of desolation, this sense of inaction. I really get the sense that it's not like you just haven't been seeing a lot of action. And you've been like, well, what am I doing this for? Like, what's happening? You may have been doing a lot of work. It might be that you might have been doing a business or doing some stuff towards your projects and whatnot, and you're not seeing any progress. That's what I'm getting. But actually, you are. And it is progressing, but I don't think that you can see it, because what's really interesting is that you've got this circle of Jupiter, but then you've also got the 6 spheres as well, which would form the flower of life. But then it's literally just before the start. There's a little bit of a way, but it's definitely more of the way than it is there. So it means that you're not far off. You're just almost near the end of this cycle. I think it's just important that you just keep on going. But let's see what the tarot has to say about this. Because I get the sense that you're quite tired. And then we've got, what numbers do we have? We've got 3, 1, we've got 12, we've got 30, so we've got 2 3s, and then we've got 37. So that's 10. Wow. So yeah, you definitely are at the end of this cycle. Wow. Okay. So we've got, I wanted to go there. Okay. So we've got the Tower. We've got the 9 of Swords reversed. I'm starting with the wrong cards. I meant to do the different deck. Never mind. I'm playing with this deck as it is. I think I was just attracted to the shiny cards. The Hermit, upright. Okay, these 3 want to come out. And then we have the 3 of Wands. We have the 10. Okay, so we've got 9 of Swords, 10 of Wands. Reversed. And then we have the Warrior of Water, which is the Knight of Cups. You've definitely been at hard. You've been working. You've been hard at work. Hard at work. And I don't know, you may have felt like you've had some setbacks. And that's really kind of like made you go even more inwards. I'm going to have to put this out a little bit. Yeah, you might have even felt like you've had to go more in deep into the work or wherever it is, because I don't know, you may have been acting from a space of anxiety. So you've been like, oh my God, I have to like go deeper. I can't do this. I need to go deeper. I need to fix this myself. And to be fair, I mean, you've really kind of, the plans that you've put into place, you know what you're doing. And you've kind of hedged your bets and you've gone for it. You've really gone for it. I feel like you're acting from a place of expertise. Like, you know, you may not have done this before, but you know the territory. Like, you know what to do. You know that it's not over. But I think what happens is that you're better sometimes you just get down on yourself, I think. But you do actually know what's going on. Actually, you don't get, I don't know if you get down on yourself. I think it's more that you, like, things have not happened in the way that you thought that it would. And you're working with that. And you know how to really manifest with that. But it does seem like you've done it from nothing. You've done something very special. So what it feels like is that you're going to be very successful with this. Your hard work is going to be paying off big time. Big time. I don't know, I feel like you had a setback though, because this tower and this lightning there. And it's interesting how the lightning is reversed, but then the tower is upright. So what that says to me is that maybe it could even be that an event that happened, it may not have directly have been to like to you, but it did affect you directly. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is quite a far out example. So for example, like it could have been that, say for example, you're married and your partner's like somebody in your, like something goes wrong with your partner's work, and that really affects how you have to do things. Like you know, maybe now you have to budget things. You have to like look at how things are going, how you're dealing with things, how you're managing things. You know, just changing a lifestyle, it seems like. Wow, we've got 10 of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Magician reversed, the 2 of Cups, and then we've got the Shadow Cat and the King of Swords reversed. Interesting. And it's interesting I used that work analogy because that's actually what could have happened. 3 of Wands. Okay, Magician. Yeah, I think you've had to deal with some really tricksy people. Really tricksy people. People that really have not been honest with you. It could even be that, like, and I don't think that this is the case, but this is just an example as per, that you have maybe put your name down for a house, or maybe you're like renting an apartment or something, and then you've put your name down for it, and then all of a sudden maybe you were supposed to get like a loan of money or something. I don't know, like it's something like the apartments fell through, or when you've moved in there you've realized that it's actually really, like, it's not really great, like it's actually quite toxic, or maybe, you know, something's really desperately wrong with the apartment and you're like, right, I've got to get out of here. And what I'm seeing here as well is that it could have been, and you know, this person, like there could have been someone that was very toxic within this situation, exceptionally toxic. And they, in a way, manipulated you to try and get you to do something. But you did something else. And you succeeded. And it's interesting how we've got the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. We've got King of Swords reversed, Queen of Swords upright. King of Swords reversed to me is the dictator. I don't know. We got, I did a reading on who's going to be the next Prime Minister a while ago. And I got the reverse King of Swords for our current Prime Minister in the UK. So every time I think of the King of Swords, I always think of him. at the moment. So, and he's, I don't think the majority of the country are very happy with him. So, you know, it's that kind of influence in a way, but it feels like you've made alliances, like in your home life or in your personal life, that's made you stay away from these people. I think you've kept it under wraps. You've kept it secret. You know, I always see the Magician as someone who's a pretty much like narcissist, psychopath, those kind of things, sociopath, whatever you want to call it, because they're people who are knowingly manipulating a situation for their own advantage. And it could even be the situation, but that is actually being put aside. Like, it seems like because this 3 of Wands is upright and not reversed, it means that you did it without this Magician knowing. You did it, and you did it in collaboration with people that you really knew that you could get along with. And with these snakes and their tongues tied, it says to me that this was kept really under wraps. You kept something really secret from someone so that you could get up and get your life, you get things in track. This is a very specific thing for someone, but it might be even so much like an abusive relationship. and you managed to get out of it. It could be. And with the Queen of Swords as well there, it means that you know, like this experience has taught you something utterly valuable. And you're like, wow. And the reason why I also say like an abusive relationship is because of this Desert card. It reminds me of like sometimes when I've been with clients and they've been in a space where they've been in quite abusive situations, and then they've had to compromise on their own happiness, and then all of a sudden they're making plans to like really extend themselves and nourish themselves and enrich their own lives rather than kind of stay within the abusive paradigm. It happens. And what's really interesting is that we've just got a lot of stuff that's closed, you know. Like the tongues are tied here, her mouth, her beak is closed, and also this thing is across her mouth. So it's not really, or this thing is across the mouth of the bird. So it's almost like there's no way that this character is going to be able to speak as easily as it normally would do, or be able to make noise. And then you've got the Ten of Cups here, and you've also got the hidden strength here, the Shadow Cat. So you like. With this card, the Shadow Cat, it just seems like you were able to feign something. And it's really interesting with this, as you see, like the King of Swords, the Father of the Night. You know, it's almost like you've had to like really kind of, what's the word? You've had to like basically make a plan to plan your getaway. It feels like somebody who's had to try and escape a really bad situation, and they've had to be totally covert about the situation and just hightail it out there, to be fair. So yeah, let's get a bit more. So we've got Death reversed, Temperance reversed. Yeah, I mean, wow, Six of Cups. Yeah, for those of you who isn't a relationship, I would say it's definitely some kind of like really negative situation. We've got some big cards here reversed. The Emperor reversed, the Magician reversed, Temperance reversed, Death reversed. Yeah, it's a pretty intense situation. The King of Pentacles reversed. That's the same like the Devil for me, a lesser form. You've got a couple of Kings reversed. So, I mean, there's some trauma that you're working through here. And you're coming to the end. You're coming through this cycle, okay? Because this type of healing is a bit weird. Like, you know, you get to a point where you can deal with it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, look at that Queen of Wands. Okay, let's do some more with this deck. Can we do it there? Yeah. Queen of Wands. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Nine of Wands. And then one more. And the Lovers reversed. Okay. Yeah, you realise that this really destabilised you. So in order to kind of make it a much better situation for yourself, you've just had to just stop trying to work with something that you can't. You have to, you have to kind of give up. I think that's what this is. Because when I was saying about it not being the end, actually, I think it might have to be the end. But maybe you're coming to that conclusion where it's not. Like, or coming to that, you're coming to your own conclusion of when the end is actually. I'm sorry, this is a bit confusing. But what I'm trying to say here is that you've been in, it sounds, or it feels like you've been in a position where you have been in a space of complete lack. You have not had anything come to you. You may have been working really hard, like a lot, and kind of keeping on going. For those of you that it doesn't really resonate in terms of a relationship, it could be like a work situation, and then you realize that the way that you've been doing it is not the correct way. So you need to do something different, even if that might mean just stop for a while and go on holiday, you know. But I think it's something a bit more serious than that, because I mean, yeah, I think, because to be fair, I think that there's something to do with someone that you were involved with, and it resonated with kind of like core patterning, which comes from your childhood, or comes from the male, like a male paternal figure. Because we got, you know, 2 reverse kings, the emperor reversed. We've got all of these here, and I don't know if it's like maybe continuing to get involved with people and situations. And I think it's more one, not people. I think it might be more so it's one particular relationship, be that with a romantic partner or in a work situation. And it's kind of mirroring, because that usually happens. Like sometimes we find that when we're in particular situations at home, or like with our caregivers, they reflect in our work environment as well as our personal, like our personal relationships, like our, you know, our significant others. So it's all about the situations that we're placing ourselves in, because we believe that we're in a particular cycle that has been, that's happened when we were young. Anyway, this looks horrible, doesn't it? I don't know, like, let me just get that. There we go. I don't know. Don't know if you like spiders. So yeah. Anyway, it should be fine. It's, you know, it's I don't really like spiders, but yeah. So what's that about? What's that feeling about? Maybe the energy of you having to reach out in this way maybe is uncomfortable. Because look, this is not a very comfortable image. This is not a very comfortable image. So that's really interesting. But look, there's something clearly happening. There's a clear action which is kind of moving you up. And this is moving down. And it's beautiful as well. Like the symmetry is incredible. But it is creeping me out massively. Okay, let's have a look. So it's tough. It's a tough decision. It's almost like there's a sense of danger behind it. Like, you know, you're feeling really vulnerable. I think that's what it is. It's the vulnerability. Wow, emotions. And we've got a sacral chakra here. I don't know if you can see that. This is the coloured swatches of chakra deck. So, and it's number 7. So yeah, definitely uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. You're having to deal with some stuff, and it's that whole thing of being able to accept where you are. Wow. 6666, clarity. It is time to quieten the inner chatter and seek stillness within. What truly matters will emerge as you stay grounded. Trust that the answers you seek are within you and will reveal themselves in their own time. Only then you will be able to see your own path with greater insight and clarity. Wow. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, right, pile 2. This is quite a difficult read. It's difficult because it's a difficult situation. You've been going through quite an intense cycle of I think it's intensity. That's the right word, because it's not pain. It's just real. I feel like it's been a really difficult, I don't want to say the word difficult to scare anyone, but it's just been challenging. It's been a challenging time. There's just been a lot of challenges. You've got the Lovers reversed here, which is meaning that, that there's been a lot. I don't know. I feel like you've been through some traumatic experience that's caused you to that's almost caused you to kind of defragment. And what you're doing is now you're starting, you've spent a lot of time in like understanding that you need to heal. I'll tell you a story actually. There was a friend of mine who was with a man for a really, like, she was married to him for like 25 years. And I met her just as she was coming out of the relationship. I think she'd just gone through like the year of divorce when she'd asked him to divorce. And, she was just coming out of it. But when she when she came out of it, she had, like, for her to come out of it, she had to work on setting up her own ballet school. So she had slowly started to do ballet lessons when she was like younger. And then slowly but surely she had started to build up her own ballet school. And because she had managed to do that, she had begun to create her own income, because I don't think he allowed her to work. She was supposed to stay at home and like look after the kids. And, there was no real kind of space for her to earn enough money to be able to, break out. And then so she did the school, and because of that she ended up being able to file for divorce. Her kids were they were in their teens when she did that. But then as a result, she found out that she ended up getting, I think it was type 1 diabetes. She had celiac disease. She also had some very serious autoimmune deficiency problems. And she believed fully, and she said this to me countless times, that those diseases were a reaction of her staying within that relationship. So that's what I feel. I feel like you are like, obviously that's just an example, but I feel like that position of where she broke out and she realized that she was more powerful than this situation, that's where she is. Because these cards here say to me that there's still like some stuff that's gone on. But the thing is that the cycle is now, it's almost like this cycle is over, and now it's moving into something that's really going to help you to heal again. Absolutely. Allowing the Kundalini to rise truthfully. And then when I spoke to her, I'd met her just as she had broken up with, like, just as that was all happening and it all going through. And then a few months later, she had met someone new, and, she was really appreciating and understanding what a true relationship was supposed to be about, and really happy, and, things were moving along really nicely. So, she managed to find happiness by, understanding that she needed to be happy first, before she could kind of like have it, instigate it like in her life. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so we've got this card, which is reversed, and this card is Thurisaz, and it's reversed. So let me just have a look at that. I hope I explained that story all right. I don't know if I butchered it. I hope I didn't. So this rune here is from the first tier, the first thread, the first Atir. And this is Freya's Et, which is associated with personal matters, wealth and emotions. So it's definitely to do with the sense of self, and being able to really establish oneself. And that kind of matches what I was saying with, that lady's story, or the story I told you about her establishing herself first, and then now she can move on to like go through with her life. But you have to take that first step. You can't just step into the new life immediately, because you don't even know what that is yet. I hope that makes sense. So this is Thurisaz, which means thorn, or Thurs, which means giants. The power responds to how we face it. Okay, so this is negative. Negative. It's not negative. It's reversed. So what that means is that it's a good time to pause. Sometimes we aren't up for meeting the forces around us, and we may not be feeling neutral enough to make a decision or do the work that must be done. Disconnecting and focusing yourself on the time for the time being would be beneficial. So, like upright. Wow, that's really interesting. It says thirst causes illness in women. That's really interesting, seeing as I just told you about that story. It's a kind of powerful, unruly energy with this rune. It's power that has been building and building. And it's up to you if you want to wield it. But I do also feel that, you know, that there's something about you being able to be strong enough to be able to wield it. And it's interesting how we have a hand here and a hand there, but this hand is just kind of branching out. So, and also because this is like still away from the top, I feel like you are still in the process of building up your power to get to this point. You know, you're still assimilating something. It's very clear that you are on the right path, but what you've been through has hit you hard. And I think what the message is here is that you are, do like, just take a rest for the moment, because you are coming to the end of this cycle. It is happening. It's inevitable. You're doing it, but the power, it's quite intense. So just give yourself some space to be able to recognize the journey that you've made, you know. I'll read you the poem that comes with this. At the edge of all things and that vast barrier between, the clash of the heavens thunders through our being. Thunder, right? Lightning. We stand so small in the grips of the mighty. Fear is an enemy. Right. Okay, so what that is you need to make sure that you have the strength to go forward, because if you don't, you might fall at a time when you know, you don't want to fall at the finish line. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to fall at the end bit. You want to be able to stride through and come through really strong. And you need to make sure, like, it could be even like a divorce court settlement or something. I don't think it is, because we didn't get justice here or anything like that. But it could be like, even like, if say if you've got to like go and collect your things from this toxic person, if you've like split up with them or whatever, making sure that you're in a position where you don't even interact with this person, so that you don't have to like, you don't have to engage in any kind of behavior that would make you gaslit or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? So to close out this reading, because it's a really intense reading, and it's interesting because I was like, right, okay, I had a bit of trouble in terms of like moving onto this pile, so I know that it was, so now I understand why it was quite an intense message. Wow, invitation. Oh my god. And look at that, look at those. It looks like a computer game. Okay, invitation, and it's number 9, if I'm correct. Number 9. Okay. Sometimes we've been waiting for the invitation to arrive. We're already dressed and have been looking forward to this moment. At other times, we attend reluctantly. Knowing that the change must happen doesn't mean it's easy when the opportunity presents or continues to present itself. It's still a huge practice in presence and a devotion to our potential. And truly, this is the card where we fully commit to doing things differently. Even when we struggle, we hold the vision of what we want. So, pile 2, it's really important for you to make sure you've got the strength to do that. Okay, because that's what's coming into place. You've got two cards which tell you that you need to maintain some kind of element of clarity before you step forward, because you're about to make a big, it's a big change. It's a big change for sure. You're moving into a big space, and the space is ready for you. This is exactly where you need to be, but you have to be strong enough to be able to stand it, because, you know, you have to be. It's the beginning of a path. We see the beginning of a path, but not an entire path, as it will continue to reveal itself. The universe is affirming and encouraging your journey, and there is, a sense of commitment here. But I think what's really important is that holding the vision tight in your hand or in front of you, and then being able to, sit down, take a rest, but you can still see what's in front of you, still see that. I don't know. I just saw the Lord of the Rings. Like I just watched all 3 of them recently, and yes, all at once. And that's an epic journey, and sometimes you need to stop in between and take breaks. So before you do the main event, like the one before that, like the last film. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Making sure you're ready and steady. I'll read you the poem that comes with this card. We play hide and seek with our transformation, dreaming up change, until one day when we've had enough of our dreams and we finally accept the invitation. So a small ember within us begins to glow. The seeds of transformation have been planted. They will grow and hold you when you begin to falter. They will whisper in your ear, reminding you of the journey you've accepted. And you will keep going because there is no turning back. Pile 2, this was a mammoth reading. I hope it was useful. This is a cycle that's ending, so all the best with it. I'm giving you so many big hugs because this is a big thing. Yes, take it easy. Remember, this should only be a confirmation of what you already know. Take what resonates, discard the rest. But if you did stay on this long, thank you so much for allowing me to read your energy. And I feel so privileged to do so. Good luck with the ending of this cycle. Do check out the other video that will be, how to move into what is newly beginning for me, which is this sister video. But otherwise, take care, my loves. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful blue sapphire. I don't know if you can see the hexagram that's in there. I might be able to if I put the light a little bit closer. There we go, that beautiful sheen. Similar to the ruby actually, but the stone of kings and queens as well, sapphires. But the main thing about this is about the releasing of feminine energy and also connecting with one's intuition and being able to allow waters to flow, allow emotions to flow. And not just emotions, but it's more of the connection between one's intuition and ability to connect with that intuition and also see what part that plays going forward, how you can manifest with that energy in a really productive way. So what I also see from, in terms of a cycle that's coming to the end is that you're ready to receive abundance in a way that you haven't received it before. And even if it's something quite small, it's still something quite precious. This is a really nice stone. I really like this stone. It's very precious to me. My precious. So I've been, a small token of recognition would be really appreciated at this time. Maybe that's what you're feeling. Recognition. Also, it doesn't have to be a big gesture. It just can be that, something just to let you know that this cycle is over and that it's actually achieved something would be really nice. I'm getting that impression. So let's have a look at what your cards have to say. I'll just pop that there. Okay, so your card that you chose is the moon. Wow. So that's really apt. And we've got the different cycles of the moon as well, which I'm doing this at a really powerful time. I just looked at the clock and it said 222. So we've got like a lot of, you know, feminine energy that is arising within this card pile, pile 3. And we've also got 337, and that equates to 10. So deep feminine energy, something that is definitely symbolic of a cycle where you have visibly gone through something and gone through some kind of change, some kind of transition. Maybe people can see what's happened. Maybe people can actually recognize that you've been through this. So they are essentially like looking at what you're doing, and you're also really conscious of the fact that you are being seen, but you also want to see something for yourself. It feels like it's also recognition of this cycle and about what excuse me, what cycles want to show to us, what they mean to us, how we function within cycles, how we respect the process of a cycle. That's what I'm getting here, pile 3. Okay, so let's have a look at some of your other cards. So you got the Poet. That's really interesting, because when I was shuffling the cards, I was thinking, oh, I never get this card. And then there it is. Okay, that one came out. I am in balance. Okay, so we've got, I don't know, I get very 2 of Pentacles energy from this card here. Well, look at that. Balance. Wow. And then I'll save the others for later. Right, okay, so what I'm getting, pile, sorry for the ding there. What I'm getting, pile 3, is that, you know, here we've got I am in balance, pondering everyday life, work management, and prioritizing. I'll just pop that there. And as I said, I get a very 2 of Pentacles vibe from this card. We've also got another number 10, which is 4 plus 6 equals 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. We've got a 7 here, and then we've got 2 here. But just to kind of round this off, we have got 1, 2, 3 circles here, like major circles. We've obviously got like another 2 here for those, but then that's 3 plus 7, so that's another 10. So what I'm getting here is that you have it together in terms of understanding and respecting how this works in terms of cycles. So you've come to this reading, you know, I don't think thinking what cycle is it, like, it's more that, I mean, these readings should always be confirmation of what you already know, but I think even more so with you, pile 3. And the Poet card is kind of giving me the idea that you are starting to almost enjoy this situation. You're enjoying the sense of a cycle. You're enjoying how it works. You're enjoying that it is a cycle. It seems like you're quite at peace with it, like you understand it. It might be a little bit presumptuous of me to say that you may be enjoying it, but I don't know. There is a bit of a romanticism about it, I'm feeling. So let's see what the tarot has to say, because as always, my pile 3s are quite mysterious. So let's have a look. We've got the 7 of Wands, the Determined Otter, we've got the Queen of Swords, and then we also have the 6 of Swords. This is the Baroque Queen. We have the 6 of Swords, which is the brand new journey. I love this card so much. It's such an insane card. And then we've got the 4 of Pentacles, which is the prudent mountain goat. Okay. I'll be picking another 2, actually. There's one. The Devil reversed, which is the Master of Lies. That's what it says. It's not my interpretation on the card. And yeah, take the top one. And the Fool reversed. Wow. The Eternal Vagabond. Okay, right. What an interesting start. Like, two first cards there. Or two cards at the end even. So, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you feel like a little bit disillusioned with this. Like, you maybe even like, yeah, so what? This is like a new cycle. I know it, Reena. What else are you going to tell me? That's what I feel. But I'm also here to tell you that there is something that you are not truly moving away from. Like, really, there's still something. Maybe you need to revisit it in order to, like, because you've got the Seven of Wands here. Now, the Seven of Wands is kind of this triumphing over, you know, rising from the ashes in a way, Phoenix-like. You know, there's a determination there and a stoicism, but there is something that is causing you to maybe not be able to walk away, because I think you're still working through some stuff. We'll clarify that. And I think that's what this is about. It's the fact that, you know, and it's interesting because we've got this bicycle guy upside down. So it's almost like, you know, that you're at the end of the cycle, but you're currently on this kind of part of the cycle. You're currently at that end, that top part of the cycle. So you need to like make sure that you travel all the way down. Otherwise you're going to fall over. I've got a feeling like it's something like that that's going on. And it's really interesting because here, this poet character is holding something that's similar to the moon. So I think it might be really important for you and moon phases, because we've got a lot of moon here, a lot of moon energy here. We don't have so much here, but we do up here. So yeah, I think that you're not able to walk away from this thing because I think it's a thought pattern. I think it's a thought pattern. Yeah. It's some kind of patterning that is, you almost need to iron it out. And the only way you can do it is by like actually fully going on the bicycle. I don't think you're going to continue unless you have sorted that out. But I think you understand that you've released quite a lot of energy and you've gotten over a lot of things. You've gotten over quite a few things. This devil is really unnerving. This deck, man, it's intense. So, like, you know. So I think you've gotten over some kind of sense of denial. Like, you might have been. And when I say addicted, I don't think that you were, like, you may have been, like, addicted to some kind of substance, but it's more a thought pattern, in my opinion, because it's the Six of Swords. It's almost like, you know, maybe it was a job that you were really, like, you had everything that you wanted and you got everything that you needed in there, but then you realized that that was actually something that was more detrimental. So you're needing to get away from that and create things elsewhere, and you've managed to break out of it, but actually there's still some things that you've got to tie up. So maybe you still need to have money to kind of work, particularly as we've got the Four of Pentacles here. Maybe you need to go back and do some shifts at that job or whatever, so that you can make sure that you are, you know, stable, so that you've got this transition while you're still looking for another job. Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything really cups here, so I don't really see anything that's very emotional. I see this as something to do with your, not just the career, but you're keeping yourself in a really good state to be able to like look at things, because I don't think, you know, it was a little bit rocky. Not that I don't think you held it. I think you did hold it together. I think you held it together really well, actually, because you've got, you know, these are reversed and this is upright, and definitely this as well, which means that I think also you've gotten over like old patterning. Like, that's what happened. I think you went through a cycle of where you came face to face with old stuff, old things that you might not have gotten over previously. But like now, it's a lot easier to get over them. It's almost like saying no to cigarettes or something like that, or alcohol, when you've given it up or something like that, or being in a situation where a group of you have done something, or do an activity, and you're like, no, I don't really want to do that anymore. So before we continue, I'm just gonna, and what's really interesting is that group 2 didn't need this. Like, for some reason, the reading was so full. And not to say that this reading isn't full, but I didn't do the astrological dice for their reading. So, but there's something that's telling me that it might need it with yours. So I'm just going to roll it. So we've got Pisces. Let me put that there. Can you see that on the screen? Just about. So we've got Pisces in the 9th house. I think that's 9th. Yeah, it's 9th. Yeah, 9th house. And would you believe it? The moon has come up for you again, pile 3. So this is definitely to do with patterning. And it might be to do with the friends or situations that you enter into. You may end up behaving a certain way in certain situations in order to like kind of maybe put a certain persona across or whatever. And you're like, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm actually going to appear as myself now, because who I am is actually just perfectly fine, and I'm okay with who I am now. So that's really interesting. Let's have a look at some tarot, some more tarot. Okay. Interesting. So we've got the goddess of earth, which is the, okay, yeah. That would match actually with the analogy that I said about money and jobs earlier. Because you might need to stay committed to something even though you don't feel very stable in it. Like, it's that kind of thing where you're like in a job, but the job really isn't giving you the financial stability that you want, but like it's almost the comfort blanket of that. Wow. I love that Wheel of Fortune. That's insane. Right, okay. And then we've got, oh my God, the Magician. These cards. Oh, can't get enough of them. And then we've got the God of Earth. Wow. Okay. And the God of Earth actually reversed, I do think of as a lesser devil. So that's interesting. And then we've got the Four of Pentacles here. Right. Wow. You've got Four of Pentacles reversed twice. Okay. So there's a release of energy that you're trying to manage. It's almost like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, in a way. And you're like, right, I'm in a really difficult situation, so I am just having to ride it out. That's what it feels like. Pisces is interesting because Pisces in the 9th house, it might be that you are entering certain situations that may be testing things. So it might be that you know that you're going into situations where you may... For example, it might be that it's a particular crowd and you are wanting to network with this crowd because you know that there are people there, but then maybe this crowd go out and do loads of drugs or something like that. So you may not, and you might be kind of like, that might be a tempting thing for you and you don't want to get involved in that kind of side of things. It might not be as severe as that. I've just chosen a random example, and I used to work in the film industry, so that was a common thing. So yeah, it's kind of like that that kind of vibe. But what's really good is, oh, I've just realized that the Matrix is wearing nail varnish. Okay, right. So it's almost like you have provoked this kind of breakthrough in your energy, in your creative energy. But and it's really beautiful. Like, people are really responding to this. But you, I mean, you are surrounded by these two, which is this kind of like, there is a lack of stability and a lack of trust, I would say, in the people that are around here. And you're not able to communicate anything. You're not. Like, you're not able to say anything. It feels like you're in a precarious situation. So what this reading is telling you, pile 3, is that this situation is coming to an end. Because you're riding it. You're riding this situation really well. It's just very unstable. But you're doing the best you can in this situation. It's destined that you do this situation. It's actually maybe a part of your karma to kind of like work through this situation. Your intuition is guiding you through this situation more than anything here. This is not driven by some need. In fact, what's going on is you might be actually going fully against what it is that you would normally do. Like, there may be some kind of like balanced judgment that you might take in terms of like what you do. So for example, it might be some friends like telling you, like really wanting to go away somewhere, and there's an amazing opportunity for you, but it just costs a ton of money. And you're just like, oh my God, I don't know if I can afford this. And your instinct is saying, just do it, just do it, just do it. Don't say anything and just get on and do it. There may be like, you might not be able to communicate with work that you're going away or something like that. So you might have to just like do a random and call in sick or something really random like that. Last minute, or just take holiday last minute so that you can actually get it the time off. But you know, you're just gonna have to ride it out, you know, and just see what happens. And everything is blessing you to do it. The only thing is that it's just tricksy. It's just a bit tricksy because there's real instability around here. Let's clarify a bit more. The Warrior of Air, which is the Knight. Yeah, you can't, you're a bit trapped, if I'm honest. You can't, well, not trapped. It's almost like you can't show your hand as clearly. And it's not even just your hand. You can't rush forward. It's almost like rushing forward where angels fear to tread. But if you do, it's almost like you're walking out on a bridge that's, you don't know if there's a bridge there. That's what I feel with the Warrior of Air reversed. I'm just noticing these 3 like things here, which is symbolic of this symbol, which I'm not sure exactly what it is. But what I am getting here, and I know this is Egyptian, but I'm getting the I Ching here. So, and that is like complete block. When those 3 trigrams are there, or that trigram, I think that trigram represents block. I know when it's got 2 of those, that's complete block. So there may be a partial block actually, rather than a complete block at the moment. You've also got 8, the 8 of Wands, which is Mercury and Sagittarius. And, you know, things are not moving forward. They're just not moving forward like as quickly as you would like. Things are slowing down. So maybe you thought that this cycle would be over, but it's not yet. I've got the 9 of Cups reversed. Yeah, I think you put something into place and you didn't, you know, you're not getting what you wanted in that respect, which is why you're going back to it. You might be trying to like see something. You might be trying to find out if something can actually come to fruition because you know you can make it happen. You know what it reminds me of actually? It reminds me of like gambling. So like almost like you're taking a risk. Because you're almost trying your chances. But it's a new domain. So you don't know whether or not you'll be okay or not. And to be fair, like, you've actually done really well in a position where you haven't had the liberty to be able to do what you're meant to do. And then we've got the Three of Swords, and then we've got Judgment reversed. I think you're understanding that the timing's not right. Five of Swords reversed. Yeah, but you're still not giving up. You're going for it. Two of Cups reversed. And it seems like you may be pissing off some people while you're at it. By the way, this is a general reading. Just remember that. If this doesn't resonate, it's probably not your reading. So please do click off and try another reading if that's the case. Okay, we've got the Ace of Pentacles here. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely opportunity here. There's definitely opportunity. You are not giving this up. I think you see something, you see some real potential, and you feel that this is a golden opportunity for you to like take, to gain in. I mean, to be fair, like, you might be doing an investment that you're fully aware of the stuff that can go down, but you know what? It's all right. I'm going to do whatever I'm doing. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to try my best. I'm just going to hedge my bets, and hopefully it will work out. And if it doesn't, there's always next time. There's always a way I'm going to sort it out. There's always a way I'm going to be able to do things. I think you've also fallen out with some people over it, though. I feel like I would go as far as like other people are like getting a bit like unnerved by what you're doing. And I think that maybe, excuse me, I think that maybe you had some camaraderie with someone, and they didn't agree with the actions you were taking. So you're kind of like, okay, well, this is just like casualties of war in a way. Ace of Apprentice of Fire, that's the Page of Wands. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to do. And then we'll go into the Oracle cards. And then we've got the Warrior of Water. And then we've got the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, pile 3, this is a work in progress for you. You know the score. You know the coup. You know how it all goes down. You've been on this merry-go-round enough. You know how it works. You're not here to make friends. You're here to get what you need to get, and then you get off the boat. That's what's going on here, because there are people that are being triggered by you. But also, there's a sense of you being able to make opportunities out of things that people can't do, and that pisses them off like massively. So pile 3, the cycle that's coming to an end is you doing this thing. Whatever it is, it seems like it's some kind of project or endeavor that you got involved in and you had hope for and you invested in it. And it has put this capital at risk, and you understand that, but it's not major capital. It's like you've done this before and you understand what's going on. And unfortunately, you've got to deal with these people. So now you're just going to get on, do your thing, harvest your stuff, and then I think you're hightailing it out there. I think that's what's happening. Let's have a look. Wow, awareness, crown chakra. See, I told you, like, you get it. So you know what's going on. You know more so than those other people around you. You are the magician here. And the devil is there reversed. And when I teach the tarot, like the devil is above the magician. So it's almost that transition of understanding oneself. Let's have a look at this other card. 100. Wow, look at that. Inner knowing. Let's do this. I'm going to try and do 3 things at once. Hold this card up to you, light an incense, and then also read it. Your heart is a wise and sacred portal to the divine, a place where wisdom and intuition reside. Through stillness and introspection, you can tap into the limitless well of knowing within you. This connection with your true self will guide you towards your highest path and purpose. You know what you're doing. You know this cycle. You understand it more intricately than probably most people understand what a cycle is. As you always do, pile 3, my wonderful pile 3s. Okay, I've got 2 more cards left. I will do the rune first. Wow, Yggdrasil. I love this card so much. This is the world tree. This is the tree that connects all of the realms together. The unconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. The if I'm referring it in psychological terms, but like the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world, the 3 realms in shamanism, but also the realms of being. It means that everything's kind of complete. You really have a good map of the area. You really get it. So they usually have some gorgeous poems in this for this. So I will read you the poem that comes with it, if I can find it. It should be the last card because it's... Oh no, it's not. Something else is the last card, but never mind. Anyway, so Yggdrasil... I've said that right, haven't I? Yggdrasil, actually. That's the way you say it. Yggdrasil. Odin's horse. We are all part of the tree. So, I mean, did you get Hanged Man? Yeah, Hanged Man is here, right in the middle. So, the Hanged Man is indicative of Odin, who hung from this tree. And when he hung from this tree, he hung there for like, I think it was 9 days. Is it 9 days? Yeah, 9 days and 9 nights to receive the runes. And the tree is something he rode, making Yggdrasil mean horse. So combined, this means Yggdrasil's horse, Odin's horse. This ash tree houses the 9 realms within its roots and its branches. Without it, nothing would exist. You are connected to everything that is around you. How can you make the truth more a part of your practice? This is an invitation to reflect on harmony and balance in your life and work in the world. So we come back to this idea of balance. It's this instigation, this initiation, this evocation of balance. Well, they don't have a poem. The runes have a really nice poem. I thought these had a really nice poem, but they don't. But Yggdrasil's really, Yggdrasil is very powerful. So it means that you're rooted and grounded, and you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You got this, pile 3. So, as I said, like, the thing that's coming to an end is a project that you've done or some kind of interaction where you've had to deal with other people, and it is coming to an end. It is coming to an end. Okay, right, so... Oh, wow, and then we've got shards. This card has come up so many times for my in my readings, so... It's really interesting. And this one does have a poem. So, but it's not in this book. Because it's a different book. Different card. So, let me just have a look for you. Okay, so reversed is resistance, fight, flight, and avoidance. So I don't know, like pile 1 and pile 3. I think there may be maybe a tiny bit of denial with this 6 of Swords here. But that's all I can really see. I can't really see much else in terms of like a denial. You may be. I mean, the only thing also I can see, the only thing I can see is that, oh no, the only thing I can see. Another thing I can see is that there may be a little bit of like not really recognizing how other people are really doing in this space. And I don't think it's really, I know it's not purposeful because the Magician is upright. So you're just doing your thing. But it could be a little bit, because the Awakening Judgment is reversed, there may be a lesson here that you need to learn. So it may be that you do have all of these things and that you can keep in balance and you're not keeping in balance. That might be the lesson. So let me just read this. I'll read it upright, but I'll show you it upright, but it is reversed. We try on each new day and they don't seem to fit. Straddling the gap between our old life and new. Legs stretching outward while that gap widens. An ocean of grief lapping at our shores, even when we know it's right, even when we take our hidden hope at night. The grief still comes. And we let the pieces of our old life mingle with fragments of hope, trusting that on the other side a new fabric will be woven. As I was reading that, I just got the sense that sometimes when we believe that we know what is going on, that sometimes blocks us. So that's what I'm getting for you, pile 3. That might be the thing. But, I mean, to be fair, this is coming to an end. Like, this cycle is coming to an end. I wonder what's new for you. Please do check out the other reading that I've put up as a sister reading to this, which is what new cycle is coming for you, what new cycle is beginning for you. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, thank you so much for allowing me to read your energy. These readings have been intense. They always are, but you gave me a bit of a lighter one compared to pile 2. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful, beautiful holiday. If I don't speak to you, happy holidays to you. Lots and lots of love. Thank you so much for all of your support over the year. It's been really great. I probably will get another reading or 2 out before the end of the year. We'll see. We've still got time. So, yeah. But otherwise, please do check out the other one. And take care. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye.